Hi, so for the disability simulation project, my disability was a total knee replacement and it is painful during activities. My weight bearing status is weight bearing as tolerated, and my equipment that I had to use was a straight cane. As for my case, I made myself a 48-year-old female that had a left total knee replacement due to an injury from playing soccer. Um, the buildup of the ACL tearing it once before and then tearing it now, and also being diagnosed with osteoarthritis is what made me need this knee replacement. So overall, I would say that this was a very beneficial experience, not just for me, but for all of my classmates. I really thought it was going to be a breeze when I pulled the card to get a total knee replacement. I was like, oh, this isn't bad. All I need is a cane. And I thought it was going to be easy to get around, but after even just a little while, I realized it was a lot different than I expected. I moved in order to assume the disability correctly. Like, I really tried to be very cautious, and I moved a lot slower than normal. I needed to leave earlier for classes, and I also needed to take into consideration the layout of my house. I have 3 floors on my house. My bedroom is upstairs. The kitchen and living room, where I spend most of my time and where I eat, is in the middle floor, and I shower downstairs. So I'm so used to going up and down the stairs all the time, so I really had to plan ahead and make sure that I had all of my homework from my bedroom and everything downstairs. And I also showered in the upstairs shower for those 48 hours mostly, just so I didn't have to go up and down the stairs. So as for the positive experiences that I had during this 48-hour simulation, was people, one, there were actually a lot of people who were concerned. They came up to me and they were like, oh my gosh, what happened to your knee or to your leg? Are you okay? What happened? Since I'm one of the first groups to go, not a lot of people around campus know about this assignment. So that was kind of nice in a way, I guess I would say it, to know that people were concerned and asking what happened. And then I also had to obviously explain to them the assignment and what was really going on. Another positive thing is like I said before, I really did learn a lot from this experience, and I feel like I did gain empathy. Like I said, I thought it was going to be easy, but it really was not as easy as I thought. I noticed that throughout my day, I move a lot more than I think I do. So I really did get a feeling of what it's like to have even just a minor disability. I also didn't do a lot of standing, which was kind of nice. I would use the excuse of, hey, ask one of my roommates to do something for me so I didn't have to get up. A lot of sitting and relaxing and just focusing on this assignment. Even though I did gain some empathy from this assignment, I also realized, or what am I trying to say? I guess it was sometimes also hard at the same time to get a feel of the disability, because in my case it says that I have pain during activities. So even though I experienced what it was like to use the cane and how my mobility was slower, I obviously didn't experience that pain during activities. So I guess that's the only thing I really didn't physically or emotionally gain empathy on. Sometimes I would catch myself walking a lot faster than a person that had just had a total knee replacement would be doing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to slow down. A person that really had a total knee replacement would be in pain and they wouldn't be walking this fast. One of my good friends, Kevin, his mom had a total knee replacement on her left knee, and I did talk to her and ask her questions about it before I started this assignment, and she did talk a lot about how it was very painful, like a while after to do activities. So throughout the course of the 48 hours, I made sure to spread out the activities I was doing, such as the community visit, the meal, the going to a different place on campus. I spread all those out just because I know that if I did boom, 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 if I really did have a knee replacement, it would have made me very fatigued and it would have been probably painful. So there were a few negative experiences that I encountered throughout this simulation. Probably the most challenging one was I had my dog for the week. She comes here on and off, and usually when I take her, I have her for the week. So I had my dog for that specific week. And every single day when she's here, I always make sure to get outside with her, no matter what the weather is, to run around with her and play fetch and do all that. And a lot of times take her up to the soccer field and do that. So during those 48 hours, I wasn't able to do that. I still did play some fetch with her and went outside with my roommate, but it wasn't the same. Usually we love to run around together. So emotionally, that was a negative experience that kind of hurt a little bit. Also, when I did bring the cane home, she hated it. She would growl at it. She would bark at it. So it was pretty funny, but at the same time, I felt really bad. So that definitely made me a little sad because this disability that I had really did affect my leisure occupations. I also picked a time to go when there was a snowstorm last week, so I had to shovel myself out of the driveway and shovel off my car. And I also live, when you get to my house, there's a hill that goes down, so it was also very scary because I was scared I was going to fall down the hill. Even if I didn't have the disability, I was still scared. So I can't imagine what it would be like if you actually did have a disability and you had to do all that getting out of the snow and all that. And also on campus, when I was walking to class, the roads were very slippery and slushy and icy, and I was just scared to fall in general. So that was definitely a challenge. Even my roommate fell down the hill that day that I was talking about, and she wasn't assuming a disability. So that was not necessarily a negative experience, but I would say a challenge for sure. Also, another negative experience I had was when I went to eat a meal in a public place. I chose to go to McDonald's, and as I was walking into McDonald's, I just see a group of old men. One of them did have a cane, just sitting at the table staring at me as I was walking in, and I was like, oh my gosh, these people probably think I'm mocking them or trying to be funny, but they don't understand what I'm doing. So that kind of made me a little bit nervous. Also, when I was talking to Kevin's mom about what to do with your knee during a knee replacement, she said that when she was sitting down, she would always extend the leg as much as she could by putting it up on another chair or something like that. So I did that every time I sat down, or most of the time. I would always make sure my leg was in extension, and sometimes I would put it on another chair. And I realized after a while that position really does get uncomfortable, and I just wanted to bend my legs so many times. So that's what I would say the negative experiences are. So overall, like I said, this was a really good experience. A total knee replacement seems like something simple, I guess, compared to maybe effects that a stroke might have on someone or a spinal cord injury or something along those lines. But it is a lot more complicated, and it impacts your daily occupations a lot more than it may seem. That's why this experience was very beneficial, because I really realized that just because I have pain during activities and have to use a cane doesn't mean they're not going to be challenging. So it's important to take that stuff into consideration as a clinician and not take your physical abilities for granted.